our hands on the brand new FLEX FX4331, and it's their 18 gauge brad nailer. Now this is not expected to release until January of 2024, so it'll be a month or so before you actually see these on the shelves. Let's get started with our review. Well, FLEX is adding to their finishing tools with the dawn of the 18 gauge brad nailer. This runs on their 24 volt battery. It's the FX4331. It will shoot brad nails, obviously in 18 gauge format, from 5/8 of an inch all the way up to 2 1/8 inch. And of course, we'll be testing that here in one moment. Some pretty cool features on this brad nailer. Number one, we get 3 LED lights here. So we have one that's right here on this side. We have one that's right here at the top of the tool. And then we have another one that's here on this side. So basically trying to eliminate any shadows around the point of entry as to the brad nail. I don't have any nails in here right now, so you don't have to worry about me having the battery on and messing with this. There is a power button here at the bottom of the nailer. And in addition to providing the power, so I can actually turn this off, even with the tip depressed, still nothing firing because the unit is actually off. Now, if I hold the button down for a couple of seconds, it will turn on, and then I can also select right here between bump fire and sequential fire. So basically in sequential fire mode, so pull the trigger, it's gonna fire the brad nail, and then let off and pull the trigger again, it will fire the nail again. And you can fire up to 3 nails within a second, and of course we'll try that as well. And then in bump fire mode, you can hold the trigger down, and then you can bump fire the nails as well. The nail cartridge is supposed to hold 110 brad nails, and to open this, you just basically squeeze the button here, slide the unit open, and now you can add in the nails or take out your nails, whatever you're needing to do. I did notice something here that I noticed when it's extended all the way out, there's quite a bit of movement here on this. Now, it's probably not going to be a problem at all, but I just did want to note that. Now, once it's in a little ways, there's not near as much movement, but when you pull this all the way out, quite a bit of flex out there. I'm not really crazy about, but then again, once it's closed and locked into place, you shouldn't have to worry about that at all. Now, in the case of a misfire, if it happens, well, when it happens, there's always going to be misfires and even jams when it comes to brad nailers. Many times it's because you're loading things you shouldn't be loading or you're misloading them. Anyway, regardless, in that case, we don't need any tools. If we have a jam, number one, make sure you take your battery out. Again, I have no nails in here. Then you want to make sure you empty all your brad nails, because otherwise that spring is going to be pushing against it and it's going to eject all those. Trust me, I know. Anyway, so release that, and then once you flip this open, now we have complete access to all those nails right there to clear out the jam. Close this back down, flip it down, and now we're ready to go again. Put our nails in, and you're off to the races. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to take some 5/8 inch 18 gauge nails. Again, I don't have my battery in, and I'll close this. And one cool thing, you can see right here in these little windows here, I can see I've got a full stick all the way up to 100 nails. So I've got 100 18 gauge 5/8 inch nails right now. So you can easily see, even with the magazine closed, how many nails we have left. Anyway, so let's just say we had a jam, we need to clear it, and I've got my nails in there, and if I flip this up, bad things are going to happen. So they just launched over my head and come falling down. So that's what's going to happen if you have these in there and then try to flip that open. So make sure you clear this, take out your nails before you flip this open. So taking a close look here at the tip of this brad nailer, number one, we have the no more tip right here, and we have 2 more extra that are right here. So as these wear out, you can pull those off and replace them with these here. And again, that's to keep the marring down on any fine wood that you're actually shooting in. Right here is your depth adjustment, and rather than it being a wheel that you kind of turn and adjust just willy-nilly, there's actually detents in here. So you can see all the way down is going to be maximum depth, and then as you flip this up, you can see our tip here coming out. So all the way up is going to be our shallowest setting. So this is your depth adjustment. Very easy to do. I'm curious how well that's actually going to work. So again, move it all the way up. That's going to be for your shallowest measurement, and then all the way down is going to be countersinking it as deep as possible. Now I've got this paired with the 2.5 amp hour battery, which I think is a perfect combination because you've still got that lightweight, but still provides a big enough pad to sit on no problem and stand up. But you're going to get hundreds of nails shot with that 2.5 amp hour battery. Love the fuel gauge on the Flex batteries. You can easily see from either side how much charge is left in that battery. Obviously large belt hook as well to hang this on your belt, hang it on a ladder, whatever you're needing to hang it on. And we also get a brushless motor to keep things nice and efficient, as well as deliver the power, and obviously powered by the 24-volt battery. Just to give you a better size of the tool, from the tip to the top is right at 12 inches, so right at a foot, and then height of the tool when standing up is right at 11 inches. Width on this is probably going to be 3 inches or so. Yeah, 3.5 inches, depending on whether you're wanting to add into belt clip or not, but really not a huge tool at all. And I believe the weight on this tool is like 5 pounds without the battery, but let's go ahead and weigh this with this 2.5 amp hour battery. 6 pounds, 5 ounces with that 2.5 amp hour battery. So let's take some yellow pine, some southern yellow pine, and some 1/2 inch plywood. We've got some 5/8 inch 18 gauge brad nails loaded up, and we're in our sequential fire mode as well. We've got it in our shallowest setting, so it's all the way up. So it's leaving those sticking up quite a bit. The first one a little more than the second one. We'll adjust this one click down. So now it's coming just above flush, so almost sinking that beneath the deck, but still sticking up just a touch. So again, we'll go one more click down. So it looks like, nope, there we go. So now we're sinking those well below the deck there. I'm going to go back up one click and just see. Okay, so maybe we got a little break-in period, because now all of a sudden with just one click in, now we're sinking that right below the deck on this plywood and pine. It's really not making much of a mark at all, other than just driving the actual brad nail, and so you see that, but really no other markings, maybe right to each side of the nail, but doing a good job of keeping things really tidy and clean. Now let's jump up here and see if we can shoot through some hardwood into some plywood. So this is some Purple Heart, which is really hard. I'm really not thinking it's going to, but let's just see. Oh wow. Doing a very good job. Just a bit, just a touch high. So I'll again adjust it. Yeah, no problem at all driving those. I know that's a thin piece of hardwood, but that's really hardwood, high Jenga score on that, and it's sinking those very well. Now let's go ahead and change those 5/8 inch out, and we'll jump up to 1 1/4 inches. So again, you can see the window here with how many nails we have in there. It's a full stick at 100. Now again, power up, and we're ready to go in sequential fire mode. All right, with the 1 1/8 brad nails in there, we'll shoot some more 1/2 inch here into some 2x4. And we'll go back all the way to the bottom, if you will. So again, leaving them sticking up a bit. Go one click down. Still a bit up. One more click. Yeah, so now we're sinking them as deep as we want to, just at 2 clicks in. Let's go to bump fire mode. So I'm going to hold my trigger. So we had the first one stick up just a touch, and the rest of these are sunk pretty well. Now let's get a little bit thicker piece of wood. So shooting through now 3/4 inch into a 2x4. Pretty impressive, really no misfires there other than me blowing out the side right there. But otherwise, even bump firing these, none of them left proud, sticking up. All of them kind of sunk below deck. And again, no bent brad nails at all. Looks like got a couple right there. I don't know if I have a knot beneath there or what, but out of all those bump fires, got a couple sticking up. Otherwise, all of them firing nicely. And really and truly, when you're running a brad nailer, I doubt you're going to be rapid firing like that anyway. And now let's max this out. We'll take out our 1.25 inch, put in our maximum length, 2 1/8 inch. So I'm going to power back on and go back to sequential mode, and I've still got the depth adjustment at the same place. I believe that's 2 clicks in, 1, 2, yeah. So 2 clicks in for depth adjustment, and now we're shooting 2 1/8 inch brad nails. I would expect it's going to leave these quite high. Wow. Well, that's impressive. So at the same depth setting, even shooting 2 1/8 inch nails, I'm still not leaving any of those proud, and they're sinking nice below the deck. And finally, we still have our 2 1/8 inch brad nails in, but we've got some 1 inch oak here, so some hardwood, and we're going to shoot it into this 2x4 here. Not sure how well this is going to go, shooting through that much hardwood, but let's see. Oh, wow. So that one, a little proud. Let's go a little deeper with this. Wow. I'm impressed with how cleanly that's firing those into that hardwood without any misfires. And by the way, it looks like the dry fire lockout, so I can't get it to shoot, and looks like if I open this up, looks like the dry fire lockout kicks in at with looks like 5 brad nails left. So if I load this back up, I'm back off to the races. We were definitely impressed with the performance of the FX4331. It had no trouble actually driving the full-length 2 1/8 inch brad nails into hardwood and even sinking it as low as you really wanted to go And we were impressed with the depth adjustment as well. We weren't sure of whether or not we would get that ability to really fine tune the depth adjustment, but we didn't really run into a place where we ran out of room, if you will. So we could back it all the way up and actually have it to where it's sticking above the surface, and we could also always drive it below the deck. We didn't get to a point where we couldn't drive it. Now, could we have tried to drive maybe some hardwood into some harder wood and maybe get it to do it? Maybe, but we didn't push it that far. Typically with an 18 gauge brad nailer, you're typically running some trim in and you might have some hardwood, but you're not like trying to drive framing nails. The 3 LEDs definitely help of making sure that you've got that full surrounding light. You did have a little bit of shadow from time to time around the tip, but it was a very dim shadow. It wasn't something that was really dark. You could still see around it and be able to see where you were driving those nails. Pricing on this is $279, and that's for the bare tool. So look for this in January of 2024. They say a January 1 release date. We'll have a link in the description as soon as we have one. And also you'll get a 5-year warranty with this tool as well. So make sure you register the tool and you'll have a 5-year warranty. Not sure if the founder's warranty is going to carry into 2024. I know if you purchased it this year, but this tool is not available this year, then you get a lifetime. So not sure on that founder's warranty of the full lifetime warranty that Flex was offering, but definitely you'll have a 5-year warranty on the tool and the battery. So be sure to check it out. Also keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And if you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already? And by all means, if you hated our video, well, give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day. Keep smiling.